Well, we've got a committed and passionate crowd, Barry. And the first thing that occurred to me when I saw the two fighters being introduced there, that Bundrage, although facially looks his years, 41 years old, and you'll see when they stand face to face here, Molina slightly the taller guy, but Bundrage does look in great shape.
Watch the low blows. I don't want the head used in the wrong way.
Physically, he's short and extremely stocky, big long arms and powerful with it. So we know what his tactics is going to be tonight. They're going to be going right at Molina, trying to put him in a lot of pressure.
Well, Molina certainly didn't impress the last time we saw him on Box Nation.
Back up a little bit.
Started relatively late in boxing at 18 years old, turned pro after only 7 amateur fights back in 2003. Bundrage, well, his story has been well documented, hasn't he? He was a real fan's favourite in that Contender Series, which garnered huge ratings. Remember Sugar Ray Leonard and Sylvester Stallone involved in the production of that. And I commentated on this fella up in Newcastle when they came over and he fought Colin McNeil. 2007, I think that was.
Yeah, but that Contender platform really, really give him a base, didn't it? A fan base, and also help sort of kickstart his career, if you like. And to his credit, he's gone on from that, not just a name, he's gone on to win a world title. And hopefully try and get a good right hand over the top there from Bunbridge.
Well, I think he caught him off balance, unquestionably, but he felt the weight of the power of Bunbridge there.
It just looked on either the temple or just behind the ear, didn't it? That big long right hand.
Looked as though he was stunned by that momentarily. I think he's regrouped quickly now, as fighters often do when they're caught with blows to that part of the head. But you can see Bundrage, he's got very long reach, hasn't he, for a man his size?
Oh, his arms are crazy, though. They really are. He only stands about 5'6", doesn't he? But the arms of the guy about 6 foot.
Sort of a light middleweight Oval Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Needless to say, the barking comes from the Bundrage fans. Canine. And he won't be worried about fighting in Mexico either. He beat Corey Spinks when he won the title. He beat in front of Spinks' home crowd in St. Louis. Becoming the first Detroit World Champion since you-know-who, Tommy Hearns.
Unbelievable, isn't it? And to be honest, using the jab very well so far, Bundrage. And Molina just struggling at the moment just to find a clean target.
He certainly started off looking sharp here, Bundrage. Earned this title shot with a good points win over Joey Hernandez in January, a 12-rounder, which he won emphatically, and he's boxing nicely here in this opening period of this 12-rounder for this IBF light middleweight title.
You stay from his head, okay?
And this pace will suit Bundrage, won't it? I think Molina needs to fight at a higher pace from the offset.
Oh, great shot! And he walked straight into that, Molina, and there's no doubting about that one.
Excellent right hand, nice short right hand, but Molina walked onto it and he's still unsteady on his legs.
Well, the referee's not going to be stopping this one in a hurry, I don't think. Mexican fighter in front of a Mexican crowd. Bundrage almost sprints across the ring and trying to get right onto him. 15 seconds remaining. Can he find another big shot? Oh, and the referee stopping him in mid-action, accusing him of dragging his opponent onto the punches, and Molina is going to see it through to end the bell, ending a dramatic opening round and a huge round for the veteran.
What a great start there from Cornelius Bundrage. You just thought that Molina would have had to fight at a higher pace. He never, and even though he keeps his hands up nice and high, they're loose, aren't they, around the side of his face. And just when he went to throw a 1-2, Bundrage got through with a nice short right hand there, right through the guard.
Listen, everything you're doing, live. Jab and jab, right? He coming, soon as you turn like that, come back with the 1-2 again. So you like this, boom, boom, okay? Back to the 1-2, okay? But you good. Okay. Hey, man, you hurt him on the head already, and then when you start going to the body yet.
I need to counsel them guys, man.
Some real problems there for the Molina corner. Amanda Round, who's been training Molina in Mexico City. You see again how he just walked into it. Oh, that's the early right hand which caught him off balance, but it was a great right hand straight through the guard that put him down. It was an absolute peach of a shot.
It was a textbook right hand, right through that open guard that Molina has. And I tell you what, Molina's in all sorts of trouble because he's struggling to find the range as it is. He's not been able to hit the target clean. He's fighting at the pace that's suiting Cornelius Bunbridge. You don't want to give Bunbridge time to set himself, and that's what he's doing. And we can see that the power that he carries, and Molina's felt it himself that he's into all sorts of trouble now, and he needs to really put his foot on the pedal and make the sport 21-year-old man work.
Molina talked about how he was going to knock Bundrage out, and Bundrage almost laughed at him, didn't he? He's not been knocked out by anybody since back in 2007.
Again, Molina having to take a nice little left hand there off Bundrage.
Bundrage looks as though he's the man with the power here.
Well, and we sort of knew that anyway, didn't we? Coming in, Molina not the puncher, but his work rate, usually his punch output and his decent boxing skills, not without being anything phenomenal, usually enough to see him through, but not so far tonight, that's for sure.
Of course, Cornelius Bundrage, who had a couple of defences of this belt before losing it, as you heard, February last year to Ishe Smith. And now looking to roll back the years.
Well, he's bossing everything behind that long left jab, isn't he, Bunbridge? I was talking about not giving, Molina not giving Bunbridge a chance to set himself by keeping a high work rate, but Bunbridge using the jab, not allowing Molina to really amount any sort of attack that's worthwhile.
Left hand strayed low, but he's having some success with the body shots as well. And Molina looks as though you just wonder a little bit watching him here. I know it's early stages of the fight, and he obviously has been down in the opening round. But every time Bundrage looks to unload with power shots, Molina looking really uncertain.
Yeah, and more than to say scared, he looks like he doesn't know what to do, doesn't he? He just sits there.
You kind of suspect that Bundrage might not get too many favours from the judges, but he won the first round hugely. That's got to go down as a 10-8 round, and Molina's not done an awful lot this round, although he did get through with the right hand there, and that gets a little bit of a buzz from his supporters.
But that's pretty much the only clean shot he's landed with, isn't it, in this round, and possibly even in the first.
Jab again.
Be next, hasn't it, that jab? And a good right hand again there from Bunbridge.
It's all over the place again, Barry. Every time Bundrage seems to connect, and a shake of the head there from Molina. Don't know who he's trying to kid. I don't think he's kidding Cornelius Bundrage. Every time he's getting through, particularly with that right hand, he looks as though he could go.
Well, whether that right hand straight or looping over the top behind the guard, it's really troubling Molina with every time he hits. And as you said, John, Molina looks a little bit shell-shocked, doesn't he?
Shell-shocked, or maybe shot.
Yeah, possibly. I'll tell you something, he's struggling with his range. Really is. Molina not being able to land anything. Mounting attacks from too far out, falling short with the punches. And he needs to get on his little bit of bounce in his step, trying to work around the body of Bunbridge. Because at the moment, the slower pace standing in front of Cornelius Bunbridge is just suiting K9 down to the ground, and he's having so much success, and he must be brimming with confidence right now.
Molina had been due to defend his minor belt his title rather, on the Alvarez Angulo card earlier this year. It didn't happen. 4 days before it happened, he was arrested in the lobby of the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
And off you go back to Mexico, the authorities decided, having given him a couple of months in prison.
Well, so far, John, on this show, it probably meant that he's kept his title longer than he would have.
Bundrage has fought at good level since being in that Contender Series. He fought against Steve Forbes, who went on to do good things. He's had shared the ring with Kasim Umar, Zurbek Baysangarov, Yuri Foreman. Of course, those 2 fights against Spinks, the fight against Smith. He's fought at a really good level for a long time.
Well, that Baysangarov win, that's great, isn't it? Because he went on to be a light middleweight world champion, didn't he? WBO champion by Sangroff, you know, and at the time, I never really heard of him at the time, but in hindsight, that was a tremendous win. Again with the right hand there, Bundrage.
And our stats man as well tells us that were Bundrage to win this, he would become the oldest world light middleweight champion. Wow. Good shot, really solid left hand dug into the body by Bundrage.
Because Molina's so, Bundrage having so much success with the jab, first of all, because Molina's so wary of that right hand, he can use that left hook well, he can feint, as he did there, but he can feint the right hand. Because Molina will go into his shell, and then he opens up the bodies for the left hook. Nice little combination there again from Bundrage. And Molina got to start throwing in combinations. He's missing with these 1-2s, these single shots.
So there, missing by a wide margin with that attempted overhand right. And again, just swinging through thin air with the left hook.
And even if he's not going to throw punches, you know, put pressure on Bundrage with your feet, make Bundrage work hard. That's a good right hand though from Molina at last.
Not the first one. It's made Bundrage blink a little. Molina not a big single puncher. A good win earlier in his career against Kermit Cintron. And chants from the Mexican crowd go up for the home favourite Molina.
Well, Molina's he's usually effective without being sensational, isn't he? But not so far tonight. He looks in all sorts.
Trying to rough Bundrage up with a bit of head and a bit of forearm.
Again,
he's had a bit more success here, Barry.
But not enough for me, John. I think he missed wildly. He landed with a few shots, but I think the early work from Bundrage was, for me, still enough to give him the round. I got it 3-0, well, 4-0 with the knockdown, really.
Yeah, 4 with 10-8 round the first round, got to be.
I think that was that one right hand there, coming up, what was that, about 30-40 seconds to go in the round. But he didn't do enough for me. And missing wildly, even that last little combination at the end there, he missed with the first 3 or 4 punches. But at least he started to let his hands go a little bit more as that round went on, and maybe he found his feet a little bit, found the range, the rhythm a little bit better now, and he's going to go to work when he needs to.
He does. He's got a big deficit now that he's got to try and claw back. This is where he's just trying to upset the rhythm of Bundrage as much as anything, I think.
And that might not be a bad tactic, actually. Make it physical. No, Bundrage being 41 years of age. Make him work hard. Hopefully you'll tire in the mid rounds, then you can get the work. But at the moment, the pace is still being too slow. And Bundrage must be over the moon with how the fight's planning out so far.
Comfortably ahead, the 41-year-old veteran from Detroit. The Mexican Carlos Molina with it to do if he's going to retain his title. Bundrage trying to tee off that, set up an opportunity to throw that big right hand again.
Yeah, he keeps whipping that jab in the face, didn't he, Molina, hoping Molina slips to his left, puts him onto that right hand then for Bundrage to let it go.
Let's go.
But Molina needs to feint his way in. Just punches from too far out, doesn't he? Just falling a little bit short, so a little feint in first. Makes him take that little half step forward, then let the punches go.
Molina maybe will be thinking that further the fight goes, that maybe fitness is going to be on his side, that he might be able to outwork Bundrage in the latter stages, if he can get that far.
Well, you would think so, but he hasn't set a high pace, has he? He hasn't set a high tempo, really. Even though Bundrage's not doing much, but no, it's Molina. That's good from Molina Molina, wasn't he? He landed with the right hand first and 2 left over the top. I've got to be honest, Bundrage looks like he's puffing a little bit, doesn't he?
He does.
Mouth open just a little bit.
Yep, and we're only in the 4th. Has he perhaps been trying to load up with those big right hands, and maybe that's taken something out of him already, and it's still a relatively early stage. Left hand again, low. Ref's not been too worried about that though. It's the holding of Bunbridge that he's ticked him off about on a couple of occasions.
That's better for Molina. Just when Bundrage attacked, just made himself a small target. Dipped his knees a little bit, went nice and low.
He's having another go at him, the ref.
Yeah, he's not going to get any favours, is he, tonight, Bundrage?
Little smile from Bunbridge, as much as to say, what have I got to do here? Well, he ships a couple of shots to the head in the closing stages of the round, tries to finish it big, but misses the target, and maybe Molina's done enough to take his first round.
As for me, John, I think landed with the only telling punches of that round. A little bit busier. But look how tired Bundrage looks in the corner.
Chat, listen, you fight that, what's it, your pace. Okay. Stop standing in front of him. He keep trying to take you around here. He keep trying to take you around there. Listen, so you get to work, you say, listen, you just like use the ring mode. Listen, just use my ring. And listen, feint. Now, I start throwing what's 1, 2 that. Feint, 1, 2, and I want you to bend. And from to the mic, what are you doing this? Thank you.
A little short on that right hand. You got to step in a little faster with the right hand. When you can don't square out too much. Come on, let's go.
The opening statement in that Bunbridge corner was kind of telling, wasn't it? So much as to say, you fight at your pace, make this your fight.
Well, for the first 3 rounds, it was a low pace. I think Molina picked up a little bit. But still not enough for me for Bundrage to be puffing the way he was in the corner.
Into the 5th, and Molina on our cards, narrowing the gap by taking the 4th round. He was on the floor in the opening round, caught by that right hand from Bundrage. Awful start then for the champion. Can he now continue to narrow the gap? Bundrage, the veteran in the black shorts, K9. That's his nickname.
Tell you what, John, he almost looks spent, doesn't he?
It's been, I was just going to say, it's a while since he's landed anything worthwhile.
All of a sudden he's pushing his punches out, not throwing them. But Molina not capitalising on it as yet in this round. Bundrage still getting through with plenty of jabs, which has been his, except for the right hand that dropped Molina, has been his best weapon.
Well, first couple of minutes, Bunbridge has had the edge. Molina needs a good last minute now.
Yeah, he's had the edge, you're right, but again, not much done by either, is there?
Molina just allowing himself to coin one of the old boxing statements, to be old manned out of it. Chopping right hand and then the swinging left from Bunbridge did get through.
Good body shot there from Bundrage as well, with Molina in the corner.
Well, Molina did a lot better in the 4th, but he's not been able to build on it.
You see Bundrage, he's trying to draw him on, isn't he? So I'm drawing on that right hand again with the left hand low, encouraging him to commit from too far out. Another low one there, John again.
The referee really ought to be saying something to Bundrage about keeping his punches up. Well, this has been another good round for the old lad who lands a solid right hand. Molina comes swinging back, but really right the way through that round, I don't think Molina landed one really worthwhile punch.
The smart thing is, you know, Bundrage looks like he's already puffing. The only positive that Molina can take out that round is that Bundrage had to work harder in that last 30-40 seconds than he would have liked. But again, they're not enough. You know, this is where the younger man Molina should be very active on his toes, feinting, moving around Bundrage, throwing lots of punches, you know, really putting him under a lot of pressure, making him work really, really hard. Especially after you've seen him puffing in round 4, you think, you know, this guy's going to tire now in 2 more rounds, he's going to be spent.
He's actually got a 2-inch reach advantage, Bundrage, despite being significantly a shorter man. You can see that if we had a punch count on the jabs, he has got through an awful lot with that left-hand lead.
Yeah, and it's hard when people hold that left hand low as well. It's hard to defend against it. It comes up with a funny angle. The other thing, you leave yourself exposed, defensively, but offensively it's a hard weapon to defend against.
We go into the 6th round of this 12-rounder for the IBF light middleweight title held by Carlos Molina in the white and gold shorts. Cornelius Bunbridge, the 41-year-old veteran, clearly ahead on our cards anyway.
Don't leave it out there, don't leave it out there. Don't leave it out there.
Referee again is on Bundrage's case.
Oh, it's terrible, isn't it?
This time saying don't leave it out there. In other words, don't just prod with your left hand, don't push with your left hand. But I mean, it's a nitpicking sort of judgment, isn't it?
So, well, he's warned it for really, really something that, you know, that's the holding, which has been half and half, so maybe Bundrage's been more to blame, but it hasn't been too bad. But not warned it for the low blows. And there's been plenty of them from Bundrage.
Stop punches, step back, step back, step back, step back, step back. Stop punches, stop.
Not that effective, but better from Molina. Bundrage missed and he threw punches in combinations and threes. And I think that's what he has to do all the time. Double up the jab. He's trying to pot chop from range, isn't he, Molina? Good jab there from Bundrage.
I get the impression that the referee is looking for an opportunity, maybe, to further caution Bundrage. Spoken to him quite sternly on a couple of occasions already.
Leave his head alone, leave him alone. Let's go, turn around.
I'm sure Bundrage said, tell him to keep his punches up, which is quite ironic.
Step back.
Getting a bit messy now as we're nearing the halfway stage.
Again, Molina missing again.
Timing's not been good, has it, at all?
Terrible, John. Really been terrible.
And Bundrage is, for the most part, just being able to fight, allowed to fight in his comfort zone.
Good body shots there though from Bundrage. And I don't know what Molina's doing unless he's hurt with every shot he gets hit with. He's boxing like a guy he doesn't want to know. That was low.
Well, Bundrage, south of the border on more than one occasion, the referee letting him get away with it. But he's taken another round on my card.
He's walking away with this. He really is. There's nothing in some of these rounds. You know, the fact that Molina's just not throwing enough work, doing any work, his timing's just been terribly off.
The only round I think you could clearly score to Carlos Molina in the first half of that fight, the fourth. There's been a 10-8 round, the opener for Bunbridge. And as you watch, you certainly wouldn't rule out the possibility of Molina being caught again by one of those swinging right hands from Bunbridge.
No, to his credit, he hasn't been caught with a real heavy shot since, has he? But he's been outboxed, and that's something I never thought. I thought Molina was going to box rings around Bunbridge, to be honest.
All right, let's go.
So we move now into the second half of the fight. Carlos Molina, who's spent most of his life in Chicago, but now based in Mexico City.
Don't hold, let him go. Let him go. Quick, come on. Leave him alone.
Molina just has to throw more punches. It's not even like lots of technical things that he has to change. He just has to throw more punches. That's it.
You ever had anybody when you went back in the old boxing days, Barry, somebody who just grinned at you as he fought?
Everyone I boxed, John. Literally. Peter Judson was calling me names for 12 rounds every time I hit him.
He's in the building game now, Peter Judson.
Tough man, he really was. Not because I couldn't hurt him, I couldn't hurt anybody, but he was a tough man.
Stop punching. Let him out. Hold, grab.
Oh, good right hand. Solid body shot from Bundrage.
And the right hand over the top there. Molina coming in with the head.
Bundrage not impressed.
Look, the referee was looking at Bundrage to try and think what he could warn him for. Molina's boxing like a man who's scared. Not a very nice thing to say about a fighter, but he doesn't look committed at all.
Well, every time Bunbridge unloads, that's what we were saying in the second, third round, wasn't it? Every time he launches an attack, Molina goes almost into panic mode.
Yeah, but I've been in fights where my last fight I got battered from to the post, got down, but when the 2 rounds when I stayed on my feet, you grew from confidence, thinking actually I can stay up for these shots, and you have a go until you get put down again, obviously. But Molina has shown so far to be quite resilient to everything that's been thrown his way since the knockdown. But still fight like a man who's a little bit timid in his work.
Well, it'll need some fairly pro-Mexican judges to be making a case for him winning this fight at this stage. And again, complaints from Bunbridge about Molina using his head.
Good jab there again from Bunbridge. Nice little sharp right hand over the top. Molina making himself a small target, but just staying there. That's better.
Molina trying to barge Bunbridge back in the closing stages. Again, it's Bunbridge who's spoken to by the referee. How do you work that out?
It's unbelievable, isn't it? That round a little bit scrappy. I still give it to Bunbridge for me, but it was a little bit scrappy that round, but just Molina not doing enough work again.
Ringside interviews. I'm sorry I can't interpret that one for you. For the benefit of our Spanish-speaking audience, I think.
It's a very uninspiring performance here from Carlos Molina. He's defending his world title, and I said the last time he boxed, I said that Liam Smith or Brian Rose would have the beating of him, and I believe it again tonight. He put either one of those right in the ring now tonight against either one of these.
It's been a really lacklustre performance from somebody who was viewed, well, not so long back, as he beat Corey Spinks as a really lively performer who was favoured by many to have beaten Ishe Smith.
Well, Bundrage must be over the moon. You know, it's played out perfect for him, hasn't it, at the moment? But Bundrage looks beatable to me. He looks like a high worker. I know he can punch, and his jab is underrated, and you've got to give him a little bit of credit for he takes half a step back, making Molina fall short. So there's some cleverness in his work, but he looks like he can be outboxed for me by a high work rate, a guy with fast angles with his feet spinning around the opponent.
There's no concerted pressure being put on him by Molina, is there?
No, he's just marching forward, but without any intent. Every time Bundrage cocks that right hand, Molina looks a little bit timid.
All right, fellas, hold, stop, step back.
The middleweight division, of course, the one dominated by Saul Alvarez. He's the one top of the tree. Imagine what Alvarez would do to Molina.
No, but that's the thing, John. These guys, there's a golden goose in your weight, so you got to go out to perform. There's a guy in your weight that you could possibly get a unification fight with, maybe if you were lucky. And anyway, it's a world title fight. You got to, if you're down so many rounds, you've got to try and go out and win that fight by all means necessary. And Molina, for me, hasn't really looked like this title means as much as it does for a lot of other fighters.
Bundrage maybe just taking a bit of a breather in this 8th round. Scored the 7th to Bundrage, did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it wasn't much in it again, but I just think the heavier shot, the better shots came from him.
So on your card then, still only the 4th round going to the champion Molina.
Good right hand there again from Bundrage. But again, these rounds, there's nothing in these rounds. Good jab there from Molina and a good right hand from Bundrage, and not much happening. Well, he hurt him there, John.
He's caught, and he's backpedaling. Looks as though he's been stunned. Lands a left hand off the ropes, but it's Bundrage who's unloading here. And now what's the referee doing this time?
That was a good shot.
You got a point, my man.
Oh.
Well, that is nonsense. That is nonsense, Barry. Bundrage corner are furious, and he's had a point taken away.
No. I don't know what happened there. He's saying that he held him by the back of the head and hit him, did he? All I could see was maybe that right hand might have stayed relatively low, but even that looked good to me. I
don't think it was anything to do with a low blow. He was talking about him dragging him onto punches. Oh, he's caught there, though. That's a nice right hand from Molina.
Yeah, nice little fight back here from Molina. Now we're seeing a guy who wants to win.
Oh, good shot again. And Molina's in trouble. Molina's in real trouble. Bell's about to go, and he needs it to go. He's out on his feet. Body shot took its toll. And where are the judges getting these extra seconds from? This round should be over, and it is now.
Oh, good little round. He's got a good round. The fight just come to life all of a sudden, didn't it?
Well, where do you score that one?
Oh, that's a Bundrage round for me.
Bundrage round, but the point deduction.
Well, that makes it 9-9, doesn't it? If you score the round, then you take the point away after, don't you?
That was the moment when Molina had that flurry.
Lovely right hand there from Bundrage. Nice and relaxed, that wasn't it? Just nice smooth punching.
Well, he was all over the place here.
But Molina showed his toughness by staying up.
Ah, there you go. That's where the referee's saying. Oh, was it? I thought that was where the referee was going to step in.
To be fair, when you see it again, he is holding him on the back of the head and hitting him. But Molina came back. It's a cracking right hand there from Molina, who showed his toughness, showed his willingness to want to fight. But a lovely body shot, wasn't it, at the end of the round from Bundrage again to take the wind out of the sails of Molina.
Well, the fight came alive in that 8th round. Bundrage finally having the point deducted. My initial reaction was that it was a wrong call. With the benefits to 2020 hindsight vision of slow motion replays, maybe the referee had his point.
But he's looking for it, that's the thing, isn't he? He's looking for things to complete them out with Bundrage.
Come on, let's go. No coaching. Leave him alone.
Still got Bundrage a mile ahead on points.
Oh, he's got a massive, even if you give a couple of rounds to Molina, he's still a mile ahead.
Probably a good job the referee's not scoring the fight.
Stop. Don't you point.
Now what's the problem this time? Oh, we've got a little bit of loose binding once more.
It's the same glove, isn't it?
Here's what the crowd make of it.
Well, to be honest, it's definitely doing Bundrage a favour, isn't he?
Is he going to lose his title?
Well, you got to come with you got to put a lot of pressure over, a lot of work, hasn't he, to try and claw back the deficit.
He's got to have real big rounds from here on in, Molina, you would suspect.
Well, he showed flash of it, didn't he, after being hurt with that right hand. He come back and I think he shocked Bundrage with that right hand right through the guard and put the pressure on him before he got hit with the body shot.
It's almost as though he just doesn't have, I don't know, the belief in his own ability to take the Bundrage shots. That's more like it.
His timing's out, isn't it, Molina's? And that's sometimes when you're a bit lethargic, and I wonder whether he's made the weight wrong. And that's usually a case.
And he has, as we said before the fight began, he's been out of action for 13 months. Hardly a lifetime, but it's longer than most fighters would wish.
Well, definitely. It's psychological as well, because you win a world title, you want to cash in on it, and not being able to do that, must have been a little bit depressing for him. But Bundrage looked like he was puffing after 4 or 5 rounds, and Molina should have just seen that and fed off that and jumped all over him.
Come on, punch out of there. Let him go. Let him go.
Referee trying desperately to keep the action going. Bundrage leaning on and mauling.
The jab's been excellent, hasn't it, tonight from K9, from Bundrage.
He's boxed well.
He really has. And I was so certain that Molina was just going to box rings around him tonight.
You thought he was going to be quicker, didn't you? You thought he'd be quicker, more insistent.
I mean, he did. I thought he'd be more active. I thought he threw like 10 times as many punches as he has thrown.
Close round this one, and a messy round.
Yeah, it is.
Molina felt the weight of that left hand, even though he kept on coming, trying to wing in speculative punches in these closing seconds. There's a left hand which does get through, missed with the attempted big right. Molina doing enough just for pressure in that last 30 seconds?
Not for me, Joe. Honestly. I think it was a round that could have gone either way, but I still fancy Bundrage's earlier work. I really did. And I'm looking to try and give Molina a round, I really am. I think, he come back well in that round, but he's just taking too long to get his hands go. He's giving away 3/4 of a round before he tries to do his work. And look at this man, 40 minutes of age, he's absolutely shattered.
Every time you lean, look, just pull it back.
Almost hyperventilating in that corner.
Give me some bass on it.
And you just get the impression this lad hasn't fought his fight.
Well, look at him, no, he's full of energy. You've got to use it. No, for me, his title's on the line. It really is.
And he's only got 3 rounds left to turn it round. So what would you be saying if you were the man there giving those instructions?
You got to go. I say you just got to play. You got to throw in 5s and 6s. You really have. You got to double jab to get yourself in range, and then let your hands go. And keep turning, Bundrage. Don't let him set himself.
Bundrage, who lost this title last year, last February. Molina going on to claim it in the September, and hence this fight. And Bundrage on our cards, unless Molina has 3 really big rounds, looks as though he could be heading to regaining his title.
Well, for me, there's been 3 rounds where I could have easily give the Molina. But apart from that, it's been all Bundrage. I mean, Bundrage will still be a mile ahead, and if I did give those rounds to Molina.
Well, I think we can safely ignore the clock there because we've had another, what's that, about another 10-15 second interruption.
Nice little feint there from Bundrage and a jab. Again, that right hand over the top. Just troubling Molina.
Here come the big right hands again. The Bunbridge fans up on their feet. Forcing him with those body shots as well, Barry.
Yeah, but it was in the middle of the ring. It's a right hand over the top just behind the guard. Back of the ear again, I think. That made Molina retreat.
Bunbridge, just when you think that he's slumped in his corner, looking as though he's just about spent, finding from somewhere more reserves of energy.
But Molina looks like he got plenty of energy. Oh, good right hand there. He's just not doing enough work.
Plenty of energy, maybe you could argue not enough ability. He's just not getting into position to land the shots.
Just missing with that right hand there, Molina. At least he let his hands go though. That's the positive sign in that little exchange.
Bunbridge complaining to the referee that Molina using the head, and there he goes in with it again. Bunbridge already has had 1 point deducted, and the referee giving a bit of an old-fashioned look as he went in to separate them that time. There's another solid right hand from Bundrage.
Molina well to stay up from that.
Oh, he's down. Binding is loose on that left glove of Bundrage, but it doesn't matter. Molina down. He says it wasn't a knockdown, but it's been given as one.
Got up too soon there, I think.
So can Bundrage now finish it off here in this 10th round? Binding on that left hand, coming really loose again. This isn't a deliberate ploy, is it?
No, well, it's worked against Bundrage, hasn't it, if that's the case, but might just give Molina enough time to recover. Still don't look right though.
Well, he's going to be on the wrong end of another 10-8 round here unless he does something extraordinary in the seconds remaining in this 10th.
Got to punch from distance though, Bundrage, with that right hand. He's getting get too close with the follow-up attacks.
Well, Molina's just about recovered now, seemingly.
Got good right hand there from Molina. When he's hurt, he fights back.
Not able to find a real big shot though in those closing seconds, and Bundrage giving him a couple of pleasantries as the bell sounds to end that round. He's had the knockdown, probably another 10-8.
Well, it's got to be, hasn't it? It's a 10-8 round now, and you just think that's no way. Unless Molina needs a just sensational stoppage, you can't see it coming. It was the first right hand that span him around, wasn't it? That one there. That's done all the damage. The follow-up right hand then just really helped him on his way. And then just not being able to find the target clean, then Bundrage to get the stoppage. But then once Molina was hurt, he fights back. Shows his grit, shows his determination. Oh, cracking right. Done well to stay up from that, to be fair. Just a lazy jab, and again, talking about the bad distance, the struggling with the reach.
He's been out-punched, hasn't he? The power has always been with Bundrage. That's the knockdown.
But he was already hurt before that, wasn't he?
So 2 rounds left. Molina needs a knockout. said, Barry, potentially big money fights could be somewhere down the line for whoever wins this one. Easier to make if it turns out to be Bundrage, because there's no guarantee, I don't think, that Molina would be let back into the United States anytime soon.
Yeah. Oh, solid jab there from Molina. Bundrage just trying to be a little bit too cute for his own good. Paid for it.
Stop punching, stop punching. Come on out. Come on out.
A little bit of the old pros trick from Bundrage. Oh, that's a good right hand. Molina taking it though this time.
Again, it's because he can't get his distance right. He's a lazy jab. He's falling short with it, bringing it back low.
Come on. Let it go. Let it go. Stop.
Home crowd, predominantly Mexican, of course, very subdued. It's the handful of travelling fans cheering on Cornelius Bundrage, who believe that their man is about to regain the title.
He is, isn't he? He's landing with all the shots you can remember that come from Bunbridge.
You can't make any sort of an argument for Molina having done enough to even make this one close.
Not at all. I've said it's been about 3 rounds that I could have maybe given the other way.
Walked straight into a right uppercut again there, Molina.
But he's going low and small tag, which is the right idea, but he got no head movement.
And again, the uppercut.
Stop. Hey, you're holding too much. Watch your hands.
Bundrage knowing, I'm sure, that the job is pretty much done and just looking to try and eat up the seconds at every available opportunity and clinging on like that.
Yeah, you can afford to have a point taken away again, though, can't he, Bunbridge?
Stop. Come on. Here we go.
Tape again, though.
Stop. 10 seconds.
10 seconds, the referee's seen the tape and he's going to allow the bell to go. Well, that was a real mess of a round.
It hasn't been the prettiest fight to watch, is it? But again, for me, all the quality shots coming from Cornelius Bundrage, who's literally winning this fight by a street.
And a fight which we thought was going to be close. When we were sitting down talking about the possibilities beforehand, we thought, well, you know, Bundrage, the older guy, punch certainly, but Molina, younger man, the desire, the home advantage, and we thought it was going to be a close one.
Yeah, and I just thought, you know, he hasn't got the prettiest of styles, Molina. I just thought he's the better boxer of the two. But hasn't proved to be anything but, to be honest. He's been terrible tonight. Maybe that time out the ring, maybe not a sparring, maybe, you know, have the training in Mexico, maybe all these things have had an effect on him, I don't know, but he's looked anything but world class tonight.
Carlos Molina, like so many of the fighters around the North American continent now, one of those advised by Al Heyman. It looks as though one of Al's fighters here is heading for defeat. Last round coming up for this IBF light middleweight title.
Oh, if he's Al Heyman fighter, I got him up by 3 rounds then.
What are you trying to say, Barry? The lawyers are listening.
It is really bad. Could you get a point taken away for this?
Well,
I thought so, wouldn't you? Because
I suppose, I guess you could have.
it's hindered him. It hasn't helped him out, actually. In the early rounds, give him a few rests, but you know, the time when he had Molina in trouble, and then had to be breaking up because the tape was loose on his glove.
I can't think in my year or two of watching boxing that I've ever seen a point deducted for that, but I guess in theory it could happen.
Yeah.
Hey, don't hold him. Stop punching. Come on.
But Molina, again, not fighting like a man who's going to lose his world title.
got to go in there and really risk everything now in these closing seconds. Molina's head going in, and Bundrage making absolutely certain that the referee realises that that's the case.
Well, Molina trying to force the fight a little bit now in this round, but again, there's no thought behind his work. He's coming forward, and he's only got no good move on his heel toe, isn't he? On the balls in his feet, no feints, no fluency in his footwork.
Molina been down twice in the opening round and in the 10th, and as the seconds tick down in the final round of what has really been a surprising contest, in that Bundrage has been so much the dominant fighter, it looks as though the American is surely going to take the title.
I think Bundrage has boxed well tonight, and I think Molina's boxed very poor.
Old manning his way through these closing stages again, holding on and just eating up a few more seconds.
But he's boxed smart, doesn't he, Bundrage? You know, use the jab well, you know, just stop any sort of attack that Molina would try to mount. You know, look for his rest, you know, he keeps circling, change direction.
No real game plan from Molina, has there?
No, even coming forward, he's just a little bit too close to work, isn't he? So when he does get close, he's smothered in his own work. Be frustrating night for Molina.
So last 10 seconds, Molina desperately looking for the big punch to somehow turn it round. Bundrage landing a swinging left hand of his own and celebrates, because he must know, and surely there can be no argument, that he has taken the title here. A look of resignation in the Molina corner. They know it, and Bundrage, despite by a decade being the older man, at the age of 41, looks as though he has become the oldest ever world light middleweight champion. Never at any stage did Carlos Molina really look as though he was going to win that fight.
No, not at all. He just did, at times he looked like he was struggling with his timing, with his distance, and all that sort of stuff. A guy who's been out the ring for a long time. Then he looked lethargic, like a guy who struggled to make the weight or made the weight wrong. And then he almost just looked. He looked earlier in the fight. Sorry, he looked a little bit timid, a little bit scared of the power of Bundrage. And then at times, then he just looked almost a little bit disinterested, a little bit sorry for himself. And then every now and again, in a few little stages, he committed himself and had a go. When he got hurt, he wanted the fight. And Bundrage boxed smart, didn't he? You know, he kept the pace nice and slow, though he didn't have to do much about that because Molina didn't really force the pace enough.
And didn't the left jab serve Bundrage well right the way through the rounds? Used that really well to good effect. And if Molina, as we expect, is going to be on the wrong end of this points decision here, you wonder where his career is going to go. But as for Cornelius Bundrage, the unlikely success story in many ways continues. That's the last few seconds of the fight, and it just wouldn't come for Molina, would it? He was looking for the one bingo shot and just couldn't find it.
Well, he's a man who's not noted for his punching power, so he left it a little bit too late trying to get the knockout. But I tell you what, this guy here, the jab, and you mentioned the jab was excellent, and even though he hurt Molina plenty of times with the right hand, for me the jab was his best weapon tonight.
He looks happy, so he should do. Having time to try and arrange his social life by the looks of it.
No, he's come in with a full plan tonight, hasn't he?
Carlos Molina's young son there, just 10 years old. And I think he's witnessed a defeat for his dad. Mr. Kubas, Molina's very experienced manager, he'll know. Got Ronnie Shields in the crowd. A long wait for the judges' scorecards.
Ladies and
Here we
gentlemen,
go.
damas y caballeros, tras de 12 rounds, tenemos una decisión unánime. Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. El juez Ancona vio la pelea 116 a 109. 116 to 109. El juez Nelson Vázquez tiene la pelea 117 a 106. 117 to 106. Y el juez Procopio vio la pelea 115 a 110, 115 to 110. All three in favor of the winner, a favor del ganador y el nuevo campeón mundial, Cornelius K9 Bunbridge.
Well, he's done it again on his opponent's home turf. He has taken the title, and Cornelius Bundrage, at the age of 41, is the IBF light middleweight champion of the world, and doesn't that look a sweet moment for him?
Y la siguiente pelea es por el título, Juan Pablo.